steak and eggs in the cast iron skillet on the Kamado Joe. Stick around if you love breakfast and you love cooking outside. You're gonna want to stick around. This is so easy. We're gonna jump right into it. All right, for this steak and eggs video, we are lighting up the Big Joe. We are going to be using the Grill Blazer grill gun to get this thing going. Lump charcoal, here we go. Fire! All right, the grill is up to temp. We are doing about 400 to 500 degrees. We've got the cast iron already on, so we can warm that up. So whenever it comes to searing the steak in the cast iron, it's already hot, ready to go. So, man, there's nothing like breakfast on the Kamado Joe or really on any grill, but I want to make sure I show you some fun things that you can do that are just so simple. This is going to be straightforward. You're going to watch this go, this is so easy. We are going to be grilling a prime ribeye steak. Look at that marbling. It's thick, it is beautiful. Then we've got ourselves 2 eggs. Then we're gonna make some chimichurri. So this is gonna be steak and eggs in the cast iron, drizzled with some chimichurri that we're gonna be making. It's gonna be delicious. So what I did to prep this steak to give it its best chance of tenderness, not only is it a prime, which helps with that, but I salt brined it last night in the refrigerator. That kind of brings the moisture out, sucks it back in to give it the best chance to be tender and juicy whenever we start getting to that internal temperature, medium rare that we're looking for. So now that we got this up to temp, I'm gonna wait to see if I see that cast iron sizzling a little bit. I'm gonna add a little oil. When I know it's starting to burn a little off, I know it's time to put the steak on. So that's a tip as you're kind of managing the timing of everything. That's kind of, you got the grill up here at the 500 now. I put the cast iron skillet on maybe about 3 or 4 minutes ago. So I'm gonna give it another 5 minutes, drizzle some oil in there real quick, let you see that part. That's gonna help us know, because right now we got smoke coming, but it's coming from around the grill. That's just from the grill itself. And we need some oil on there anyways. And so we're gonna let that sit in there. Once I see it starting to smoke from that cast iron itself, again, that's my cue to go ahead and start searing the steak. So we're gonna go ahead and season this bad boy right here. And we do it old school. Sometimes we got cutting boards around here, and sometimes we go paper plates because that's what we do. All right, so we're gonna just do, I got a little bit more oil than I typically would do. I'm gonna go ahead and put this glove on, and then we are going to just make sure it's completely layered on all sides. And then we are going to just use my all y'all. This is my salt, pepper, garlic seasoning. It has also celery seeds, so just 4 ingredients, no fillers, nothing else like that. This is going to be delicious. There we go. It's got some coarse salt, pepper. This is gonna be delish. Oh, we're getting that seasoning everywhere, but I'm happy. I'm happy, it's gonna be great. All right, we'll let this sit here for just a moment. And then once I see that sizzling, we'll start searing the steak and moving on to the next step. All right, the grill is up to 500 degrees. We've had the cast iron skillet. This is about 12 inches. I got my little infrared gun here, about 460 in some parts, and it might be even hotter. So I feel like that's definitely, for what we're trying to accomplish, definitely searing capable. So we're gonna go ahead and hopefully get the sizzle we're wanting. Oh yeah, there's nothing like a good sizzle on the cast iron. So we're gonna let this go probably a minute or 2 per side, see where we are on the internal temperature. And we're just gonna keep doing the flip method until we get close to the internal medium rare that I'm looking for before I crack eggs, because I wanna time this perfectly. So that's my recommendation to you, is just don't do the eggs until we get closer to being done. So we'll see you back here in a moment when it's time to flip. It's been a few minutes, time to flip this bad boy. Oh, look at some of that caramelization happening. I am getting a good look at that.
Why do you keep the top open?
You know what? Keep the airflow going. We can keep it closed. Well, you'll notice I'm going to close it when I do the eggs, as if we were putting a top to it, so that it gives it the kind of get the eggs boiling. But on a steak like this, and I'm flipping, I'm trying to get the fire roaring, keeping it hot. And I could do that, but it will typically just lower the temperature when I close it for a second. So since I'm pretty much doing direct grilling, keeping the lid open makes a lot of sense. And since it got hot gloves, I can also flip it that way. Just keep that flip method going. Yeah, once I see, like I said, like once I see closer to like 110 to 115, I'm trying to get it to 130. Then I'll crack the eggs. We'll make chimichurri, let it sit there even longer. It'll be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. All right, my friends, we are about that 110. I'm happy about this. We're gonna go ahead and, actually while this is going, we're gonna go ahead and do a little of this chimichurri, because this is gonna be pretty fast. And this is like where you do, just put whatever amount you want in there. And then we'll do one part. We're gonna activate it with oil. And we're gonna let this sit for about a minute. And then we'll bring it back with some, you could use red wine vinegar, which is my preference, but I didn't have any, so we're gonna use some apple cider vinegar. I might get some hate in the comments, but it's what I have. But I typically do red wine vinegar, but we're gonna let this activate for about a minute and then pour in the other vinegar. While that's going, we're gonna go ahead and crack some eggs here. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pull this to the indirect side. So I'm not, and then we're gonna actually let the eggs kind of cook. And although I have enough fat here, I'm just gonna add just a little bit more here. Help the eggs not stick. Also bring down the temperature just a second. Let's see if we can do a good job with my, yeah, I didn't break it, so that's nice. All right. There we go. That's gonna be awesome. We're gonna at this point, actually I'm gonna move this handle in, shut the dome for about a minute. We're trying to go for over easy. And then I'm gonna wash my hands. We're gonna mix this last portion, bring you back, toss all that goodness on the steak and eggs. It's gonna be awesome. How are we doing here? Another minute or so. I wanna see the white yolk kind of over. So we're getting super close, loving how this is looking. You can see how the steak's doing here. Oh yeah. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. You liking that crust?
Oh yeah, it looks great.
Looking beautiful.
It's got that great brown color.
Nothing like, you know, steak and eggs for breakfast. Come on now. My wife has been like saying, let's do this. She's inside, Caleb, earlier. She was like, save me steak and eggs. I said, all right, I got you, honey. I got you. All right, so another minute for these eggs the way I like them. And then we will pour some chimichurri on there. Do you think we should throw the eggs on top of the steak?
Oh yeah.
And then go for it?
Oh yeah.
All right, that's what I'm thinking too. But we'll make sure we get a good thumbnail before we put that on there. And then we'll do a little taste test for you. All right, friends, we are pulling this over here. Oh yeah, this is looking good. I'm gonna flip this steak too to see what it looks like on the other side. Oh yeah, oh yeah. All right, friends, we're done. We're done. We're gonna throw some chimichurri. We're gonna do a few things. We're gonna do right over the steak, right here. And because we got plenty, we're also going to, oh yeah, my eggs right on top. Oh my gosh. Center this bad boy. That just did it. That did it, guys. I mean, look how beautiful that is. Tell me that does not look to die for. I'm happy how this turned out. All right, friends, it's time to slice into this bad boy. Oh yeah. We're gonna get a little of that. Move the yolk this direction as I'm slicing, just because. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, we're gonna get egg. We're gonna get chimichurri. We're gonna get steak bite. Oh my God. Don't cut one for you. There we go.
Okay. Oh, look at the yolk.
The yolk, chimichurri. How'd we do? Golly. Home run. So good. I'm taking it in. Prime steak, beautiful. Salt brine, check. It did it for me. Tender steak, nothing like eggs on it. And that chimichurri just gives it that little kick. It's that little herb tastiness.
And the cast iron gives the steak that crust on the outside,
Yep.
but it's so tender.
Yes.
Because it's such a good steak.
100%. Cast iron definitely did a great job. If you're looking to change it up a little bit, just know that you have the cast iron as your another tool in your tool belt. When you're grilling on the Kamado Joe, you can use the cast iron, accessory. Buy yourself a lodge, whatever you want to do, man. And what I liked about this one, occasionally it kept everything in the cast iron, made it outside of my cutting board, keeping all the dirtiness and all the juice right here, easy to clean. Going in for another bite, but let us know in the comments what you thought about this cook. What is your favorite steak and egg recipe? Is there things that you want to see on the channel related to breakfast or cast iron that we haven't done that we want to do? If you're seeing value in today's video, be sure to like, subscribe. And from my backyard to yours, less hate, more love, good barbecue. Until next time. That's what I'm talking about.